I like a slushie.
Yeah, like beer.
You like wine?
And I don't drink beer. But maybe if it was in a slushie. Would you make me a beer slushie? Maybe
Yeah.
shotgun beer slushie. I'm Hannah Kaiser, and this is the Bandwagon. Last week, I made it very easy on myself by bandwagoning the team that I've been practicing bandwagoning for years. And since I feel terrible about seemingly jinxing the Giants with my renewed fandom, we're doing something entirely different this week. Something that I've noticed working in sports media is that it seems like people who write about American sports for a living love to get super invested in Premier League soccer, and I've got bad news for you, buds. That's bandwagoning. Pretty sure none of you are from Wolverhampton, and I had to Google to find a funny-sounding British place right there because I know nothing about soccer. I wanted to voice my fandom on an unsuspecting Premier League team, but to do so, I needed to pick one first. So I did what anyone does when they have a difficult but ultimately arbitrary decision. I took a BuzzFeed quiz. After telling BuzzFeed that I am a Monica who loves cats and Nigella Lawson, the algorithm suggested that I root for Tottenham Hotspur.
No.
Yeah, don't get too excited. I am not bandwagoning a team with a cock and ball for a logo. So I took a series of decreasingly legitimate seeming internet quizzes and probably gave my corporate computer a virus from allthetests.com to find out that I should either root for Everton, but then I talked to our Everton fan in studio, and that sounds like rooting for the Mets, and you gotta be born into that kind of self-loathing. Or Chelsea, which I know everyone is so excited about, Christian Pulisic, but the whole appeal of the Premier League for me is exotic accents and silly Britishisms, and the most British thing about Pulisic is that his middle name is Mate.
Fact. Hey, Mike.
Or Newcastle United, which almost got me with the seahorses on their crest, but they look like Foot Locker employees out there, and on second thought, those aren't even seahorses. Those are like mer horses or something. Ultimately, I just asked around for the best possible story because I'm not bothering to learn what offsides is for anything other than some serious narrative heft. And turns out, there's a totally clear choice, which is why this Premier League season, I am bandwagoning Leicester City. As long as no one asks me to spell it. Did you know that the best Cinderella story in sports was the 2015-2016 Leicester City team that won the Premiership just a year after getting unrelegated, which is a thing that I do know what that means, even if I don't know whether or not there's a term for it, earning the name Unbelievables. Well, so do I now. It is prominently displayed on their Wikipedia page, and also many people told me about it. Which is how I learned several other delightful facts about Leicester City that I will now tell to you. They have a player named Christian Fuchs, and my enjoyment of this is not totally contingent on the racy nature of my mispronunciation of his last name, although I can't talk about Jazz Chisholm with a straight face. I just really like it when people's names are grammatically correct, complete sentences. Matt Stairs, one of my favorite Phillies. Christian Fuchs. I bet he does. More snap judgments based on people's names. Casper Schmeichel does not go by the friendly ghost keeper, but he should. I'm also not unaware that he is a very fit, notably symmetrical Danish man. He has a Lego in his likeness, which is a remarkably accurate medium to capture his physical essence. I love Legos. I was a preteen subscriber to Lego magazine.
What?
I submitted some of my own designs too.
Show it!
But I do not love this picture of a single Lego Schmeichel surrounded by cult-like collection of other prone Lego Schmeichels. I don't know for sure that he's subtly advocating for a future in which people clone themselves, raise this army of clones, and then ritually sacrifice said clones for the sake of having a catalog of necessarily compatible blood and organs, but I do encourage someone to ask him how he feels about Peter Thiel.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Jamie Vardy seems like a real arsehole and a wanker, and I relish the opportunity to say either of those things in a plausibly viable context. I have also been made aware that his personal slogan of sorts is chat shit, get banged, which, while catchy, would seem to be an inopportune way of expressing that sentiment since it's still entirely unclear to me whether this is a anti-shit-talking stance or a pro-shit-talking stance.
Oh.
Also, all of those guys are older than me, which sadly at this point in my life is something that meaningfully impacts how earnestly I want a particular athlete to perform well. All right, I like their pink jerseys. They are striking, unique across all professional sports, and broadening the athletic association of a particular color away from just breast cancer promotions and Mother's Day giveaways is frankly a little overdue. Someone had to start. Root for Leicester City. Their logo is the foxes, which are the caddest of all dogs.
Yeah!
I'm a fan of foxes.
What else are you a fan of?
Let's find out.
Offsides.
I don't know what that is. I know that it has something to do with where people can be. Like you. Okay. Is it in relation to where the ball is?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. I don't know. Wait. Is it?
We can just explain it.
No, I don't want to figure it out. I'm gonna watch some soccer and then I'll report back. TBD. Stay tuned.
Draws!
There are ties in soccer. Not a fan. This is why we have sports. I know that both sides are good at playing soccer. That's why they play professional soccer. I'm watching to figure out which side is better at soccer. You know the thing you do when you need a winner? Do that every game.
New jerseys every season.
I love this. This is great. It's definitely just so that way people have to buy more gear, right? Yeah. But a fan of fashion though, so fan.
Relegation.
Okay, I do know what that one is. Relegation is how the bottom 3 teams in the Premiership get bumped down to the Championship, and the top 3, I assume, teams of the Championship become teams in the Premiership. I don't like this, actually. If you work in the front office at what's a soccer team?
Fulham just went down.
Fulham? And then you just like suddenly have a worse job? Do you like make less money?
Yes.
Is that seems very that seems wildly arbitrary. This is a caste system. I don't like it.
So you're
Not a fan.
Still having a king and a queen.
The monarchy is what it is.
Yes. Monarchy.
You know what? Fan. Like I think separating the figurehead role of politics from the sort of actual like logistics of governing, and because both of those things require vastly different skill sets. Like I wonder if we would elect uglier, more effective presidents if they didn't also have to be the sort of like face of the country. Fan. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No. Hooligans.
The fans?
Yeah. Yes. They are the ones that like throw flares on the field and chant and like are crazy.
No, that's bad. That's bad. This is a very fan-friendly show, but that's not a fan. Like, you know it's just a game, right?
Announcers that say goal.
Fan.
Penalty kick.
Goals are really big in soccer, and I always and yet there's not a lot of scoring. So penalty kicks seem good because it's like it distills the running back and forth part. Fields should be smaller, and so should the goals. I don't know why. It just seems like
Sounds like you have some proposals.
Let's do a humble proposal. I plan on keeping my Leicester City fandom for the duration of the Premier League season, which I'll be looking into how long that is as soon as we wrap here. And so this is my only chance to fix English soccer from my totally uninformed vantage. As such, we'll be hitting on everything I think they should change to fit my whims, based on about 72 hours of research in one rapid-fire round. Parity! Look into it. Professional autonomy for athletes and an ability to test the market. Free agency is fun and also a fairly basic universal labor right. Ban flopping. Unpenalize removing your shirt in celebration, especially if it's to reveal another shirt featuring a message honoring the recently deceased team owner. Put the rest on motorized scooters. I just kind of think that would be neat. If you're a spectator, don't engage in racist abuse of either players or opposing fans. Duke it out with American football for rights to the name of the game to avoid ham-fisted jokes premised on the fact that it's a homonym. Should help that you already have logic on your side. Consider instituting a postseason of some sort. I have to assume that this is antithetical to the spirit of the game that I don't understand, because why else would anyone pass up all the excitement and all the sweet, sweet ticket sale revenue that comes from a playoff game? In fact, maybe look into doing that instead of the giant corporate branding placed prominently on all jerseys. You're welcome, soccer.
Yeah!
I am not a fan of some of the soccer rules like relegation and ties. Surprising fan of the monarchy. I will let you know how I feel about offsides once I figure out what that is. Gonna be watching a lot of soccer this Premier League season, rooting for Leicester City. I watched the first game this weekend and they tied, so that was a complete waste of my time. Why did we even do that? Play till you're done. Play till you're done.
1 point.
Oh, that's good. And shout out to New York Foxes for all the gear that we're featuring this week.
Foxes!
I do that again.
Yeah!